Mr. Don Beasley is going to lead us through tonight's invocation. So. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The Apostle Paul instructed the church at Philippi, who was facing very much difficulty and perplexing and divided times. And he told them in Philippians chapter 4, verse 6, do not be anxious about anything, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be known to God, and the peace of God which surpasses understanding will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. So we're invited to pray and believe that God will give us the answers we need to succeed and prosper, even in the most difficult times. So let us pray. Heavenly Father, we come before you tonight and pray for the elected representatives that govern this community. Lord, help us all to set aside our personal ambitions. We ask you for guidance in all discussions as we navigate the complexities of the issues before us with humility and with the utmost of integrity. We implore your wisdom, and the decisions made and set in motion will be for the benefit and the best interest of our community. We thank you and we bless you, Almighty God, that you will hear and answer our prayers. In Jesus' name, amen.
Thank you, Pastor Beasley. We'll move on to roll call. Nancy?
Akery,
Here.
Bivens,
Here.
Book,
Here.
Dallas, Friel,
Here.
Gascoigne,
Here.
Hudson,
Present.
Huss,
Here.
Kitson,
Present.
Copine,
Present.
Naylor,
Present.
Norberg,
Here.
Pearson,
Present.
Rod,
Present.
Sheline,
Here.
Scrogstad,
Here.
White, Wilson, Zeman,
Here.
Olson.
Present. Thank you. Under announcements, I got please mute or turn your cell phones off so they don't interrupt our meeting tonight. We'll go down to the approval of minutes. Does anybody have any corrections on the minutes for the February 20th meeting? If none, we're going to let them stand as presented. We'll keep moving on. We have no Joseph Meyer resolutions this month. Under zoning and planning on number 8, there's a included in your packet is a report from the zoning and planning. It's just an overview of what their office activities have been the last month and the petitions moving around. So we'll go to B. There are 2 petitions going to the ZBA, Zoning Board of Appeals. Petition 1 is petition number 25-P 1639 by Mound Hill Road North Solar LLC as leasee of certain real property identified as PIN number 16-07-05-300-005 in Palmyra Township, Lee County, Illinois. Filed a petition for special use with the Lee County Zoning Office requesting a special use permit for a 5-megawatt commercial solar energy facility. It's a community solar. The parcel is located on the east side of Mound Hill Road. It's approximately 1/2 a mile north of Illinois Route 2. The parcel is currently zoned Ag 1 Rural Ag District and is 67.29 acres in size. Is there a motion to move petition 25-P 1639 to the Zoning Board of Appeals? Mr. Kitson moves. Mr. Friel seconds that. Is there any discussion on this motion? If none, all those in favor of moving it forward to the ZBA, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. We'll go now to the second petition, petition number 25-P 1640 by Mound Hill Road South Solar LLC as leasee of certain real property identified as PIN number 16-07-05-300-006 and 16-07-08-100-004. It's in Palmyra Township, Lee County, Illinois. Filed a petition for special use with the Lee County Zoning Office requesting special use permit for a 2-megawatt commercial solar energy facility, like a community solar. The parcels are located on the east side of Mound Hill Road, approximately 0.7 of a mile north of Illinois Route 2. The parcels are currently zoned Ag 1 Rural Agricultural District and collectively in size 67 1.29 acres in size. Is there a motion to move petition 25-P-1640 to the zoning board of appeals? Nancy moves. Mr. Hudson seconds it. Any discussion on this petition? If none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That motion carries. C, I have no petitions going to the planning commission, so we'll move down to D. I've got one petition coming from the zoning board of appeals. This petition, number 25-P-1638 by Craig A. and Christine Kessel, as owners of certain real property identified as PIN number 02-15-19-200-004, commonly known as 859 Morgan Road, Amboy, Illinois, in Amboy Township, Lee County, Illinois. Filed a petition for special use with the Lee County Zoning Office requesting a special use permit for the purpose of an auto repair minor as defined by the Lee County zoning ordinance. The parcel is currently zoned Ag 1, Rural Ag District, and is 1.24 acres in size. Is there a motion to approve this resolution Is there a motion to approve the resolution for petition 25-P-1638? Mr. Bivens moves. Mr. Gascoigne seconds it. Any discussion on this petition? If none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Now, go to E. There's one petition coming from the Planning Commission. Petition number 25-PC-78 by Lee County Zoning Administrator was filed, in which petitioner seeks to amend the text of Title 10 zoning regulations of the Lee County Code of Ordinances to replace the Zoning Board of Appeals with the zoning hearing officer and create standards for amending the special use permit that has been previously approved by the Lee County Board. Is there a motion to hold over petition 25-PC-78, which deals with the changes to the Lee County Code of Ordinances until the April County Board meeting? Ms. Nancy moves and Mr. Kitson seconds it. Any discussion on this? Everybody understand what we're doing with this? Ms. Sheeline.
I'm feeling Mr. Wilson breathing down my throat. Keep this quick, Sheeline. One of the things, and I support what we're doing, one of the things I'd like to remind the board that we get this done, there's going to be potential issues with a hearing officer. So this isn't going to be the end that we're going to be talking about this. This is going to be a work in progress. We're going to have to feel our way through to make sure that we're doing the right thing for our taxpayer and also for the people that are coming through. I had a long conversation with folks over in DeKalb County that have done this for a number of years, and they had some hiccups as they went on their way. They finally got it straightened out. They're happy with the way they do things over there, and I have no doubt that we'll experience the same things. But I just don't want people to think that we do this and it's over. We're going to have to feel our way through this.
Good point. Well said. Any other comments? All right. All those in favor to hold this over for the April County Board meeting, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Now we'll go down to administrative monthly update and board member comments. Mr. England, would you like to have anything to share with the board?
Yeah, I'd just like to share that today we posted a new position within the county as the Lee County Building Official. As our deputy zoning administrator had left our employment last month, we had worked through a restructure with the zoning department and discussed the need to really look at the growth of the department, the needs of the services within the building operations throughout the county with codes, inspections, and above. And we thought it'd be a great time to restructure this and split the duties of the zoning administrator into a zoning administrator and a building official. So we have worked through the committees in this structure this past month and just posted the position. So we're really excited about what that's going to do for our constituents and for county services. Thanks.
Any questions or comments for Jeremy? If none, does any board member want to have any comments at this time? None? All right. We'll go down to public comments. I've got a couple girls from Ashton, Katie and Elsie Vile would like to talk to us. Support our pro-ag resolution tonight.
Hello, my name is Kate Vile. I am the Vice President at the Ashton Franklin Center FFA chapter. My record book at my chapter consists of working on my apple orchard. Agriculture has impacted my life in a lot of really good ways, and FFA in particular has helped a lot with leadership. And my favorite career development event that the FFA offers is meats evaluation, which is very important for any person who eats meat, regardless of their knowledge of agriculture. So,
I'm Elsie Vile. I'm a 8th grader, and my SAE is I'm in control of the freeze jar that my chapter owns. FFA has impacted me because my goal in life is to become a hog farmer and an ag teacher, and we are in support of the pro-ag resolution and agriculture in Lee County.
Awesome. Thank you. That's all I have for public speakers. Now we'll move on to public comments. We'll move on to county organizations and presentations. We got Lucas Pauley from Visit Lee County. He's going to give us quarterly report and update tonight.
Thank you for having me. I'm Lucas Pauley. For those who don't know me, Visit Lee County. I'm here to report on Q1 of 2025, our second year working with Lee County for the tourism efforts. We'll just dive right in. On the first page, we go through the social media. So Facebook, since the beginning of 2025 versus the final 3 months of 2024, our interactions are up 71.2%. So that's a pretty amazing number to see there. Interesting enough, multi-photo posts are performing the best over reels and single photo posts. But also watch time for our Visit Lee County content is up 145%. So those reels that we are having success with are still seeing some increases in watch time. We do have a decrease to report on views and reach. We do have a 28.1% decrease in views and a 66.2% decrease in reach. This is basically solely because we were running advertisements throughout the end of last year, and we are not currently running advertisements. So the views and reach are going to be much smaller for both of those. On the second page, we go through Instagram since the beginning of 2025 versus the final 3 months of 2024. Interactions, again, are up 50%. We were more productive the first few months of this year with 31 pieces of content posted, which was an increase of 33% over the final 3 months of last year. And we continue to vary our post types with 14 photo-based posts and 11 reels videos. And again, 28.1% decrease for views and a 65% decrease on reach. Again, those are based totally on not running advertisements throughout this first quarter, but it's something that we will continue to do as we look to see other grant opportunities to bolster our advertising for 2025 as well, like we did in 2024. The next page of the presentation kind of goes over just some popular posts. I thought it would be kind of nice for the board and the public to see just exactly what posts are seeing popularity throughout our Facebook and Instagram. And the thing that I love to see, our most popular post on Facebook is Paw Paw for the Beaver Den, which continues to just shine every time we post about Paw Paw's Beaver Den. It's just been great. So in Amboy, Sublette, Amboy again, Franklin Grove, Dixon's in there with Plum Hollow and Old Settlers Cabin. And again, with Instagram, Sublette, Ashton, Amboy, Pawpaw again. So it's just great to see all of these communities being reflected and seeing popularity with these posts. And it really just shows how many gems we have all over Lee County that people are getting connected to, have visited, people that are from Lee County and people that visit us here as well. So it's really, really nice to see. Tourism analysis. So we, this past 3 months of available data that we have, which would be October 2024 through January 2025, really just had some amazing numbers. We saw an 18.6% increase in overnight trips from the year before in the same time period, and a 24.3% increase in visit nights from a year before in the same time period. So that's 176,000 visit nights that were recorded during that time period. For perspective, the increases reported at the last presentation I gave you were 9.6. This year, or this quarter, it was 18.6, and 8 for visit nights. So 8 and 24.3. So really just some amazing increases that we're starting to see in those visit nights and overnight trips that we have through our tourism analysis software. And in the next page, we go into a little bit more on those successes that we're having, specifically attracting visitors from Chicago, Naperville, and Elgin metro area. We have 33,000 overnight trips and 83,000 visit nights from October 2024 through January 2025. And then we also are seeing success with those other larger metro areas that we have before: Bloomington, Davenport, Moline, Rock Island, Peoria, Champaign-Urbana, St. Louis, and Milwaukee. And this is really, really great to see because we're seeing our advertisements that we did last year pay off in those areas. Those are the exact areas that we have targeted with our advertisements last year. So to see those people continue to come and visit us from those advertisements or from those areas has been really great to see and kind of seeing that payoff from the work that we've done. Another thing we've spent time on this first quarter of the year is community partnerships. A really big goal that I reported on the last time I spoke with you all was establishing those community partnerships and really making it a point to not only run advertisements with community organizations and events to bolster their advertisements, but really grow the organization of Visit Lee County as a partner that can partner with these organizations. So we've begun discussions on how best to do that. And we've also had the opportunity to add a new staff member. And this will allow us to just do even more with Visit Lee County. So that's going to be a great addition to our team. We've been working with the Pawpaw Festival. Visit Northwest Illinois and Visit Lee County are going to partner and do some advertisements for the Pawpaw Festival. Visit Northwest Illinois has deemed that festival as a festival that might be one that we can see grow from year to year. So we're going to work together with Visit Northwest Illinois and and see how we can push that forward. We've already had some meetings with the organizers with the Pawpaw Festival, and that's something that we want to continue to do with different organizations throughout Lee County. As I mentioned before, just now, Visit Lee County is going to benefit from having a dedicated staff member through the summer, along with myself, obviously. Among other things, this employee will be tasked with producing dynamic, story-driven social content through updated trip ideas and itineraries to promote events and attractions. So you'll remember last year, a lot of the things that we did, especially with the grant, was have those influencers come to town, come to the area and create those itineraries where we could kind of have those trips to show what people could do on a weekend or a girls trip or a family vacation to Lee County. Those are the things we're going to be able to continue to do this summer and refresh those as we keep going forward from year to year. And increasing presence and awareness by representing Visit Lee County at major tourism events. If I'm being honest, this is probably something we fell short of last year. just with, not having the staff hours of being able to get to these events and really be at those events. This staff member that will be dedicated to Visit Lee County will be our liaison to go to those events, be a presence, make those connections, and really be out there in the community at the different events and attractions throughout Lee County. And then we're going to continue to work with destinations and attractions to explore possibilities of creating some travel packages that we can market to people who might be traveling to the area. Just to wrap up, there's plenty to be excited about, really excited about the numbers that we saw in the tourism analysis software. And as we look to expand marketing, very excited to have a new staff member with us that's working alongside me to kind of bolster what we did last year and really grow what Visit Lee County is going to be able to do. So I look forward to reporting in Q2 on where that leads us, and glad to answer any questions as well.
Any questions for Lucas? Nice job. A lot of data there, and I like data decisions, data-driven decisions. So thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Now we'll hear from Arnold Vetcher from Township Officials of Illinois Legislation. He's the chairman of the Illinois Township Officials.
Thank you very much for giving me an opportunity here. I'm also a highway commissioner in Whiteside County for Union Grove Township, being on the TOI board, the legislative chair. The reason I'm here, when the governor give his budget address or State of the Union address or State of the State address, they always give a synopsis with it. You were supposed to get this page handed to you. Becky was supposed to put this in your packet. This is page 32 of the synopsis. He did not mention this in his budget address, but the highlighted area states empowering taxpayers to reduce or eliminate duplicative taxing bodies, saving taxpayers money by implementing legislation that enables community-led township consolidation in counties with populations under 5,000. Townships functions could potentially be absorbed with an overlapping county or city government. Now, after the day after his address, and this was dropped, you should have in your packet Senate Bill 2217 dropped, and it was scheduled to go in executive committee. Now, if it gets put in executive committee, it means it's on a fast track to get passed. 2217 is very short. It provides that all townships with a population of less than 5,000 are dissolved, and the county gets them. In Lee County, that dissolves every township but Dixon Township. It's a very vague bill. It does say in there that if you have a geographical boundary with another township, you could consolidate. It says nothing whether you have to vote to consolidate. It says nothing about whether you have to get over the 5,000 population when you consolidate. It's very vague. Now, we did get an email today. We've tried to talk to the sponsor of the bill, and she told our legislative consultant, this is what the governor wants. This is what we're going to give you. She would not talk to us anymore. Didn't want to hear why the bill was bad, anything. We have heard today that she's not going to call this bill, but we honestly trust nobody. So anyway, and then the other bill that dropped was Senate Bill 2504. It's same sponsor. This bill is a little more, basically in a county with a population of less than 50,000, it will get rid of the tax assessor for all township tax assessors, and the counties will take over the tax assessing duties. Also in this, it takes the McHenry County bill, or the bill from a few years ago of McHenry County, and makes it statewide. And they changed it. The McHenry County bill was 10% of the registered voters in the township could sign a petition and get it on the ballot to dissolve the township. With this one, they have changed it to 5% of the voters that voted in the last consolidated election. So that's the last township election. So like in my township, I have 919 registered voters. It used to be 92. It would take it down to 4. I only needed 4 signatures on my petition to get my name on the ballot. And that's all it would take to get it on the ballot. But at least the voters would have the right to vote on whether they would want to dissolve the township. And the reason most counties do not want us. I know Mr. Anderson just chomping at the bit to take all them townships over, but anyway, most counties have told us they don't want it. There's a lot of county board members that don't know about this. So that we're going around to the counties and trying to get them to get a hold of your legislators. I mean, I've talked to all the ones that represent you already. They're all against this, but the more people that put pressure on them, the better off we'll be. Then there's also on the House side, there's a bill, and I didn't send you things on this. There's a 3581. Road districts of under 15 miles would be eliminated. And if the road district is eliminated, they keep the town side, and then the town board would oversee and either have to hire the county or hire private individuals or someone to take care of the roads. That has already happened in McHenry and Lake County, but they're trying to make that one statewide. And there's also another, I got to look the number up. There's another House bill that, I can't find it on here. 2515. That will dissolve townships with less than 500 population. And in Lee County, that was 8 townships. And then you have 2 townships that are between 500 and 550. So, and that is the same way you dissolve and the county gets to take all of it over. And I think, was that the one? There's one bill that said that the county could only levy 25% of what the townships levy. So you would take all the township roads and you'd only get 25% of our money. There's no way a county, even if the county got 100% of the township's money, there's no way a county could take over all of the township roads and do it as effectively as townships do. And the other thing, if a township goes away, you will have to do general assistance and something that nobody brings up is cemeteries. How many township cemeteries do you have? I know in DeKalb County, they have 20 township cemeteries. They just took an average, they figured 3 acres a piece. So that would be 60 acres of lawn that the county would have to mow additionally. And you really don't get any funding for that. So I guess we're here. I don't know if any of you board members have heard of any of these bills or not, but we're trying to get, this is the 4th county board meeting I've been to. So, and most of the boards did not know. We did have, I don't know if you got the sheet that we had a meeting in Springfield Tuesday. I know one person from Whiteside County come and 2 from Carroll County. And we discussed all this because we're working with the Illinois Association of County Board Members, the Illinois or the County Engineers Association, and the Metropolitan Township Association. We're all working together to try to fight this. We do know Jerry Crabtree, our executive director, got a phone call from someone the other day and said, call your dogs off. We've had enough phone calls. And Jerry just smiled and says, we're going to keep at it because that's what we got to do. The other problem, like they're saying 2217 and 2504 will not be called. They can still go on a shell bill. I don't know if you guys know what a shell bill is or not, but if you see a bill that has a technical change in it, and a lot of them they take the and cross it out and add the. But that way they can go 2 readings, have it ready for the 3rd reading. They can attach any bill they want to it or any wording they want to it, and it's only got to go through 1 reading, and it's a fast track to get it through. And the other thing we're hearing is this will probably be something on the omnibus budget bill. And if you remember last year, the grocery tax was on that. He mentioned the grocery tax in the same thing last year, and nothing ever come up about the grocery tax, and it went on the omnibus budget bill. And last year, the budget bill got dropped at 1 o'clock in the morning, and it was passed at 4 o'clock in the morning, and it was over 1,000 pages. So they passed it and they didn't even know what was in it. That is one thing we're worried about. We're hoping to have a meeting with the governor's staff. They've reached out to us. They really wanted TOI to come up with a plan to get rid of townships, and that didn't go over so well. But we're hoping we can have a meeting with the governor and at least negotiate and try to save what we can. So hopefully you guys have a good rapport with your legislators and you'll reach out to them and keep the pressure on, because we will not be safe until the legislatures go, what do I want to call it? They're done in May 31st, you know, when they're done, then we'll be safe, maybe. I mean, we're working very hard on this. I spent the last 2 days in Springfield working on this, and the legislators don't always listen. Yesterday they had the, a homeschooling bill. There was over 4,000 people there from homeschooling. There were so many people in the Capitol, they shut it off because they were over fire code. You had to have 2 people leave to get 2 people in, and they were against the bill and they still passed it yesterday. So sometimes they listen, sometimes they don't. Anyway, do you guys have any questions of me?
Mr. Norbert.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate your report. I'm going to call out Senate Bill 2504. In regards to Lee County, we only have currently, after this upcoming election, we will only have 2 assessors or multi-township assessors that are currently elected. So the assessment and the multi-township assessment is already being done by the county. I'm firmly a believer in that we need to get rid of multi-township assessment and township assessors, at least here in Lee County, because we don't have enough qualified people, because there's certain tests and everything that you need to do and perform to being a township assessor. But for all the rest of the county board's knowledge, we do only have, I believe, 2, correct, Jennifer? Potentially after this upcoming election. So. Okay, I stand corrected.
Yeah.
1 assessor that is currently elected for the county. Everything else is being done by the county. So,
And that is a problem statewide. Whiteside County will have 4 elected assessors after this election. Carroll County has 0. They have to hire it all done. So we do know that is a problem. But as I have personal opinions about it, but I'm not going to say them in public. If you talk to me afterwards, I'll give you my personal opinions, but I can't go on record saying certain stuff. But you know, as TOI, it's hard to get rid of one organization, one department. But we do have a lot of problems with the assessors trying to keep assessors because it simply just don't pay enough out here. But you get in the Cook and Collar counties, some of the assessors I know up there have more parcels in their one township than we have in our whole county. So, but that is an area that might be negotiated. So, but thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Nothing? I think, I don't know, Dave, right now we got 220 miles that the county's taking care of. Is that correct? Somewhere around there? And I got a number here somewhere that if we take over all the townships, maybe not Dixon, you got 950 miles to add to that. So there's just no possible way we could do that.
Well, and with 2217, if some of that verbiage would come, let's just say there's a lot of question in it, but let's just say, for example, it's on effective upon signing by the governor. We would assume that you guys would get all the equipment, all the monies and all the debts. But there's no way for you guys to officially get it, because if the township board's going, how can we sign the titles over to you? How can we sign anything over to you if there's effectively no township board? I mean, there's a lot of problems. And in the one bill, it stated if the county takes it over, the county takes all the assets, all the debts, and they have to keep track of all the tax money that comes in from the township, and it has to be spent back in that township. So that would be an accounting nightmare for whoever does the books for the county. So, I mean, there's a lot of bad things about these bills, but anyway, hopefully you guys, I mean, if you want to take them, but we just want to enlighten you and be proactive on this. So, and I want to thank Dave. I called him on it, and he got in touch with the administrator, and then I got a phone call and got on the agenda. So I appreciate him doing that for us. So, and I thank you for your time.
Thank you. Dave, yes, Tom.
Mr. Chairman, if we could back up just a quick second before these ladies leave. I would like to applaud the future farmers that made the presentation tonight. I know many years ago when I wore one of those jackets, you couldn't have got me in front of this group to speak. And I'm very proud of them, and I think we need to applaud them. So thank you.
Absolutely. All right, we'll move on to reports of standing committees. Dave, did you want to share something with that? I don't want to. Okay. Yes.
I can real quick. I just started building a little model on it in Excel, just looking at the labor costs alone. That's kind of probably the biggest component, and it would be quite expensive for us to do that. And the reason I kind of build a model is my assumptions kind of keep changing, as to how much goes where and how many people you need and all this sort of thing. So just change it around fairly easily. And I know what our highway commissioners make some assumptions about what they hire out for part-time help. And, I can get that thing to range between, we would probably spend an extra 300 to 700,000, just depending on how you want to look at things, more than what townships currently spend in labor. And that's labor alone. Then there's all the other things. But these bills have come and gone for 20 years, so I don't get too excited and go full force. So build out that little piece. If it goes a little further, then there's a lot of other considerations as well.
It seems like this is gaining some traction though too. So I mean, we need to be, but I was doing the math too. It's like, that adds 40 trucks, probably 40 employees. I mean, it just, I don't know how it's going.
Another HR person.
All right. Thanks, Dave. We'll move on to reports, county services, Mr. Scrogstad.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. County Services met last Tuesday, and the department reports, including everything that we talked about tonight. We discussed this bill as well. That's outstanding. And the ramifications, blah, blah, blah. And of course, no sense of rehashing it right now, but the reports are in the packet. Will be made available to the public probably here pretty soon. And that's all I have. Any questions?
Any questions or comments for Jack? Thanks, Jack. We'll go to public safety, court services, Mr. Copine.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Public safety met last Tuesday also. The minutes are available through the packet. The department heads that were present for the meeting provided their information also, and their reports are available in the packet too. If you have any questions, that's all I have. It was a short meeting.
Questions or comments for Mike? Thanks, Mike. We'll go to Facilities Maintenance Committee, Mr. Wilson.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We met last Tuesday. We have a few things to report. Just a couple things that we want to talk about is we got the office, the maintenance team got the office built for the new human resources person through this back room next to Jeremy's office. Our group of guys got the walls built and got that room ready for our new HR administrator. And currently we're Eric and his team are working on the fourth floor carpeting project and painting and updating of the fourth floor for Judge Ackert. And that process has started, and we hopefully to be done sometime in June, I believe. But that's all I have right now, unless anybody has any questions.
Questions or comments for Tom? Thanks, Tom. We'll go to claims. Mr. Zeman.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Claims Committee met twice. The minutes are in your onboard. We met February 19th at 9 a.m. We went through 41 claims. We forwarded all 41 to the county board. Met on March 5th, once again at 9 a.m. We went through 60 claims and we forwarded all 60 with very few problems. That's my report.
Any questions or comments for Mike? Thanks, Mike. Finance Committee, Mr. Sheeline.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Finance Committee met last Thursday and the finances, then this is the quarterly finances are in your packet. The only thing I'd comment, everything's pretty much a vanilla report. The only thing I would mention is, last month we talked about on the local use tax, income tax was down a significant amount. On November, that was paid in January, and we raised some issues about that. Paul and Reed had tracked down finally somebody that would talk to them and found out that it had to do with a technical adjustment that we had actually gotten overpaid in regards to that area. And so this was an adjustment that they made for that month. The good part of the story is that the numbers in local use tax, if you take a look at the spreadsheet, is back to where it is. Now that's one. So we knock off one whack-a-mole, and we got the next whack-a-mole is figure out what's going on with PPRT and why that's so far down. And that's big dollars compared to even what we were talking about in local use tax. So we'll continue tracking that stuff down and working with the Funds State of Illinois Revenue Department. And thanks to Reed and Paul for taking the time tracking that stuff down. The only other thing, there's two things coming down later on, and that is the emergency engineering, what was not able to come through the committee, that was done by consensus, and also there's a fingerprint scanning machine that we passed through consensus for the full board to take care of. I think that's all I've got, Mr. Chairman.
All right. Any questions or comments? Jim? Thanks, Jim. Executive Committee, the minutes are in your agenda packet. I don't know if anybody's got any questions, comments. If none, we'll move down to reports of other committees or appointments. Board of Health, Katie's couldn't come tonight, so we'll move down to 911 Board, Mr. Hudson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. In addition to the reports and minutes in the packet already submitted by Director Dallas, I also provide information that the Illinois Department of Public Health training curriculum for 911 telecommunicators updates and mandates are in progress. And also the next ETSB meeting will be scheduled for Thursday, March 27th at 3:30 p.m. Thank you. That's all my report.
Any questions for Keen or comments? Thanks, Keen. We'll move down to Tri-County Opportunities Council, Mr. Akery.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Tri-County Opportunities Council met February 27th in Princeton. Department heads gave their reports. Minutes are in the onboard, and our next meeting is this Tuesday, March 25th in Sterling.
Thanks, Reed. Anybody get comments, questions? Then we'll go down to Blackhawk Hills Regional Council, Lee Ogle Enterprise Zone, Mr. England.
No update this month, Mr. Chairman.
All right, thank you. We'll go down to Laceda, Lee County Industrial Development, Mr. Akery.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. LCIDA met February 5th. They're making some bylaw changes involving some organizational relations that they have, kind of changing some things a little bit that are necessary. Had some got updates from Tom on the possible projects in the area north of Stewart there and around Nelson. And then talked about goals and objectives for LCIDA. So it was a good meeting. So Our next meeting is April 2nd.
Any questions or comments for Reed? Thanks, Reed. We'll go to Sarma, Mr. Zeman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. No meeting, so no report. I think there's one in April.
All right, thanks. Mr. Kitson, UCCI.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The meeting was, meeting with, our elected officials and so forth. It was yesterday and today. I was not able to make the meeting, so I really have no report.
All right. We'll move down to Illinois Association of County Board Members, Mr. Copine.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I've got a couple of publications that's available to all the county board members. I'm not going to read through them. Mr. Vector covered the township status close. And I'm not saying it in that fashion. He'd still be talking, and he'd still be talking by the end of the meeting if he had to go over everything that I was able to go over with Kelly Murray, who's the director of the IACBM today. The township situation is going to be, or is, if I'm not mistaken already, a headache. There's a lot of questions, a lot of controversy, a lot of conversation that went on at the meeting. It was a productive meeting, a questionable as far as information and how and what and where and who's going to do what. And it's probably not a bad thing to keep track of. There was even mention that potential for mandate for some of this stuff to come down too. So it's an interesting topic, not only for the board members, excuse me, but for the county as well, because it could end up being a very costly, as Dave just mentioned, very costly venture if we are mandated or should be mandated to go that route. And I can only think of what's going through those their heads right now if this does happen. There's pro and con on all of it. There's a policy report that came out March 18th from ACBM that has information on it regarding the townships in the Senate and the House bills, and also the counties at the Capitol, another publication that's available, came out March 14th. This will tell you how ACBM made decisions on some of the House bills and Senate bills were there, whether they approve them, disapprove them, or they're neutral on them. So it's very interesting, especially about the township situation. And other than that, we've got a meeting that'll be coming up next week that hasn't been conducted yet. If you have any questions, I'll be glad to try and answer them. Otherwise, that's all I have for now.
Any questions or comments for Mike? Thanks, Mike.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
So let's go down to 14 under unfinished business. We have an ordinance held over. It's petition number 25-PC-77 by LC and Lee County Engineer. Petitioner seeks to amend the text of the Title 11 Subdivision Flood Control and Stormwater Management, Chapter 4, Stormwater Management of the Lee County Code of Ordinances. It was held over in February. Is there a motion to approve this resolution for petition 25-P-77, which basically amends the stormwater ordinance? Ms. Naylor moves. Mr. Gascoigne seconds it. Any discussion on what we're doing here? We held it over last month. It's an ordinance and we'll vote on it this month. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That motion carries. We'll go down to new business. We got resolution for county engineer salary appropriation. Is there a motion to approve the county engineer salary appropriation resolution? Mr. Wilson, Mr. Acree. Mr. Wilson moves, Mr. Acree seconds it. Any discussion? If none, all those in favor of the resolution signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. We'll go down to B and 15B, it's certificate of authority for the salt purchase. Is there a motion to approve the certificate of authority for salt purchase for the county? Mr. Hudson moves, Mr. Friel seconds that. Any discussion? If none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. We'll go to C, revisions of zoning and building permit fees. Is there a motion to approve the resolution for the revisions of the zoning and building permit fees for Lee County? Ms. Naylor moves, Mr. Kitson seconds. Any discussion what we're doing here? If none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. So now we'll go to D, the ProAg resolution. Is there a motion to approve the ProAg resolution sponsored by the Lee County Farm Bureau? Mr. Sheeline moves and Mr. Wilson seconds it. I think we'll have Ally. She wanted to read it to us tonight. She asked me earlier, so. Yeah, Ally, would you like to read that for us?
Resolution in support of Lee County agriculture. Whereas Illinois is home to more than 71,000 farms, 96% of which are family-owned and a third of which include livestock. Whereas Lee County accounts for 829 of those farms. Whereas those farm properties account for 377,886 acres. Whereas agriculture supports 3,325 jobs, which accounts for an estimated 19% of total jobs in the county. Whereas agriculture and related industries generated total sales or output estimate at 400 million. Whereas farm property provides 28.9% of taxable value, which provides services to residents. Whereas Illinois farmers support the food security of our citizens. The international pandemic displayed the importance of American food systems, processing, and supply chain weakness. Whereas new livestock development accounts for additional jobs, creating additional economic growth within the county. Whereas farmers are dedicated to caring for their animals in ways that also benefit the land, using tools and technology to better manage soil nutrients, water runoff, and air quality on the farm. Farmers are using fewer natural resources and reducing their carbon footprint while producing more food. Whereas farmland is a finite resource that is vital to agriculture, food production, and the economic well-being of our county. Whereas farmers in Illinois face multiple layers of regulation involving state and federal agencies, providing a comprehensive, robust regulatory program for all farms, including those raising livestock. Whereas data and information from state regulatory agencies demonstrates environmental issues from agriculture that are extremely rare occurrences. Whereas the county recognizes the value agriculture contributes to our county and the rural way of life is the backbone of our country. Efforts should be made to accommodate future success of the rural community. Now, therefore, the Lee County Board acknowledges and supports agriculture within our country. Within our county. The jobs created, tax generated, technologies embraced, and environmental practices implemented by farmers make agriculture a valuable industry within our county. Let it be resolved. The Lee County elected board and county staff will work to support and promote the development of agriculture for the benefit of our county and all its residents.
Thank you. Very good. We got a first and a second. Need more discussion on this. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried unanimously. Afterwards, I think Lee County Farm Bureau has pins to hand out to the board members. I think I remember, so stick around for your pin. Thank you, Ally. We'll move down to E, Lee County Electric Aggregation Contract. Mr. Wilson?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'd like to make a motion that we not accept the current contract that we're set to go into effect because it's a 27% increase. And I think with the volatility of the electric market, I think we should wait, extend this till June and to see if the market changes to where we can make a better educated decision at that point.
So your motion is just to hold off and see what happens in them. Okay, Mr. Pearson, you second that? Any more discussion on this? I think it's pretty volatile right now. They give us some options, but I think with the best interest of Lee County residents, I think we wait for a couple months and see what happens.
Yep.
All right. Got first and second. No more discussion? All those in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. We'll go down to F, the opioid funding partnership for Healthy Lee County Connected Communities. Is there a motion to approve the anti-stigma training request from Partnership for Healthy Lee County Connected Communities in the amount of $26,462? This money is from the lawsuit that we joined, and it's going to be spent out of that. So do I have a motion for that? Mr. Kitson moves. Mr. Pearson seconds it. Any discussion on what we're doing here? If none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. We'll go to G, the fingerprinting scanner for new courts. Is there a motion to approve the purchase of a fingerprint scanner for the new courts in the amount of $14,500? Mr. Gascoigne moves. Mr. Copine seconds it. This is something to come up with the Safety Act. I think it just make it a lot, it wasn't in the budget, kind of come up last minute. Mr. Sheeline would like to explain this.
So, well, kind of what I was going to get on my soapbox.
All right.
And first of all, I was going to do this in board comment, and I thought, no, I'll push it off. Number one, I wanted to compliment Clay, our Sheriff Clay Whalen, on the report that he is putting out and giving to us. And if anybody hasn't read his last report, I really encourage you to read this month's report. This is another prime example of a state not understanding, state passing legislation and not understanding how things work, and especially not how things work in a small county. We were getting along fine without having this particular thing until they passed the Safety Act, and you're releasing people that aren't being processed. And we're having to buy this piece of equipment basically to catch them when they come in for their preliminary hearing and they're heading out the door. So we catch them getting processed. This is directly a result of the Safety Act. And this is just one thing. In Clay's report, now I'm not going to go too far, Tom, but in Clay's report talks about a situation where there was a high-speed chase all the way through Dixon, all the way up to Route 26. They finally had to wouldn't stop the guy. The guy calls 911 saying, hey, I'm being harassed by the police, believe it or not. And then they have to put stop sticks up in it. So here was a person that was absolutely putting himself, other people's lives, the law enforcement officers, the time that law enforcement's, and guess what? At the end of the day, they stopped him, and what happened? He was released. He was cited and released. Now, the guy's from Minnesota. Is he going to come back to Lee County because of thing? Sure is. Right. That guy should have been sitting in our jail being held until he could have been processed. So here's another example. Thanks again, Clay. Appreciate what you do. I'll get off my soapbox. But this kind of thing just really ticks me off, Bob.
No, I agree. And the reason we're bringing it up here and discussing it, it didn't go through committee. It come in late, and we wanted to make sure we need to get it over there so they can use it at the courts building. So when the individual comes in, they can fingerprint them and verify that's the right person that's supposed to be there. We understand it. So any other questions or comments? If none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Letter H, we got emergency contract for engineering quote for the courthouse wall, retaining wall. Cost of this project, well, let's just go from there. Mr. Wilson, you want to explain to us what we're doing here?
Sure. In the Properties Committee, last year we received $150,000 of discretionary funds, and this is one of the opportunities we're going to use to utilize that. We have the wall that caved in over by the Dixon Arch. Our team of guys went out, and within 12 hours of the wall collapsing, we had it all cleaned up. And a lot of people don't even know that there's barricades in front of that. But that was done all within 12 hours of the wall falling over. So what we have to do is we have to have an engineering firm come in and do topo maps of the property. We had some walls repaired, I don't know how many years ago. I would guess 10 years ago. I have no idea. They weren't engineered, and we're having issues with those walls currently. We got a lot of hydraulic pressure and a lot of frost pushing on those walls as well. So we need to have an engineering firm come in, do a topo map, do a design basic for us, just so we can put in the proper walls. We have to go, once we have that stamp from the engineering firm, then we're all covered as far as how things are put together and what we're doing to fix the wall. So we're gonna, the Properties Committee is gonna go and seek out some engineering help to get this done, and then hopefully use the rest of the funds that we have in the discretionary funds towards this project. This project is going to be extremely expensive. So we want to make sure we're doing it right and doing it one time. So that's
what would your motion be out of all that? What would you like it to look like?
What would I what now?
What's your motion then?
My motion, do I need to make a motion? I don't need to make no motion, do I? Oh, yes. I do?
Actually, no, we don't. We just want to explain it to us.
Okay, yeah, and this is discretionary money that, it's already in our budget. So I mean, I'm just letting everybody know what we're gonna do with that money. That we're not just gonna spend it on whatever we want. We're actually gonna put it towards something that came up as an emergency. So we're going to use it as funds out of our budget to put towards the project as much money as possible for what we've been allotted to utilize.
But also, we should mention, and you did, the maintenance team, I think the wall fell over, what, 10:30 at night?
Yeah.
Sunday night?
Yeah.
And within 12 hours, they had the barricades up, had it secured so nobody get hurt
Yeah,
going by.
the
So,
city came in and helped clean. Eric called the city, but we got a really good group of people right now in our maintenance department, and it makes a big difference. So,
all right, thank you for explaining that.
Yep.
We'll keep moving on. So we have two appointments this month. We got a resolution reappointing Craig Burrow to the Lee County Zoning Board of Appeals. Is there a motion to reappoint Craig to the ZBA?
Yeah.
Mr. Friel moves. Do I have a second for the motion? Yes, Mr. Wilson. So I got a first and second. Any discussion on reappointment of Craig Burrow to the Lee County ZBA of Appeals? Lee County Zoning Board of Appeals, sorry. If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. The other reappointment, we got a Norris Tucker Jr. as Commissioner of the Lee County Housing Authority. Do I have a motion to approve that? Mr. Kitson moves and Mr. Copine seconds. Any discussion? If none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. I have no executive session tonight. Is there a motion to approve the county's officers' reports and the quarterly treasury report? Ms. Naylor moves. Mr. Hudson seconds it. Any discussion? If none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, now we go down to, is there a motion to approve the monthly revenue report, claims paid and vacation, and payroll paid? Mr. Copine moves, Mr. Friel seconds. Any discussion on this? None. Nancy, you'd love to do a roll call vote?
Start with Gascoigne.
Yes.
Hudson.
Yes.
Huss.
Yes.
Kitson.
Yes.
Copine.
Yes.
Naylor. Yes. Norberg.
Yes.
Pearson.
Yes.
Rod.
Yes.
Sheline.
Yes.
Scrogstad.
Yes.
Wilson.
Yes.
Seaman.
Yes.
Acree.
Yes.
Bivens.
Yes.
Book.
Yes.
Friel.
Yes.
Olson.
Yes. We'll go down to, I need a motion to approve the board member mileage and per diem. Mr. Kitson moves, Mr. Friel seconds. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. And then I need a motion to adjourn the meeting tonight. Mr. Hudson moves and Mr. Wilson seconds it. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you, everybody. Please stick around for your